In this video, we'll be performing a short field test using the MAXCOM MTAP. The MAXCOM MTAP is a new, low-cost, simple device developed for network techs and head-end technicians. The purpose of the device is to lower the customer downtime. And to do that, the MTAP is basically a field-hardened fiber splitter. It is available in different configurations. This is our standard model with a standard two-way 50-50 split on one side. As you can see here, it has a common port. It has a 3.5 dB loss port and another 3.5 dB loss port, regular two-way optical splitter. And on the other side of this device, it is a 80-20 splitter, where it has a common fiber port right here, a 20% 8 dB down port, and a 80% 1.3 dB loss port. He will place a fiber coming from the head end into the common port of the tap, and then he will connect a jumper from the 1 dB loss leg over to the receiver in the node. He will then be able to connect his test gear to the 20% or 8 dB loss leg.
So we've arrived at the node here, and we're going to be disconnecting the fiber from the head end from our receiver, and we're going to plug that into a jumper that goes into our MTAP, and that actually has a jumper that comes back through and reconnects the link to our node here. So the customer downtime should be minimal, and we're going to just see how long that takes.
So you've interrupted the signal to the receiver, and you've redirected it to the MTAP, and then back out of the MTAP into the receiver.
Correct.
So and that only took a couple seconds, a few seconds.
Yeah. Back up.
And so the node is back on and operating, and the MTAP is now in line, and you've got an available test port on the MTAP that you can plug your optical meter, your MAXCOM battery operated receiver to perform like MER testing, look at RF levels.
So now that we have the node connected back up, customers are back online, and we have the MTAP connected, I can now run a jumper from this 8 dB loss port here, and I'm going to run that into the battery powered MAXCOM receiver. From there I can actually do optical testing with my optical spectrum analyzer, my RF meter, just different things of that nature. So now that we have the MTAP connected and we have that connected to the MAXCOM battery powered receiver, we have an F81 port here that we can connect our RF meter to and start performing measurements. So now we can see that we're getting a linear spectrum here. We're getting our MER readings. We're going to get our forward error correction as well as amplitude.
A little hard to display, but you're able to perform the MER, the your RF levels, making sure that it's flat. And if you had poor MERs, that would tell you, okay, it's maybe a head end problem, and you can discuss that with a head end. If you realize, okay, you have bad MERs at the node, now you've plugged in your tap and your receiver, and the MERs are good, that's telling you, okay, my problem is somewhere here in the node. So it's kind of assists you in that troubleshooting stage of determining, okay, is it a head-end problem or is it a problem with my node?
Well, and the beauty is the customers are all online while we're performing these tests as well.
Correct. And now you can also plug in, if you want an alternative to the receiver, you can plug in a power meter, an optical spectrum analyzer, or some other optical test device and perform testing while the customer remains online.
Correct. Non-intrusive.
And as we all know, there are just times where you must take a customer down to perform testing and troubleshooting. And having a tool like this will minimize the downtime to only a few seconds, while the technician takes as much time as he needs to perform the testing while the customer remains online. Thanks for watching, and be sure to view our website at www.maxcomcorp.com.